So again, this is not really a political show, and I don't want to concern myself too much with Rick Santorum's bid to be president. But I think it was really interesting recently, about halfway through March. So we're getting to this a little bit late. But I'm not concerned with the politics, so in the timeliness of the politics, I don't think it matters too much. But Rick Santorum got an introduction in Baton Rouge by Greenwell Springs Baptist Church pastor Dennis Terry. And Dennis Terry had this to say when he introduced Rick Santorum. He said, "I don't care what liberals say. I don't care what naysayers say. This nation was founded as a Christian nation." No, it wasn't. "There is only one God, and his name is Jesus." Picks or get the fuck out. "I don't care. I'm tired of people telling me that I can't say those words." No one is saying you can't say those words. We're just saying you can't say them in our schools and you can't force the rest of us to agree with them. He continues, "Listen to me. If you don't love America, if you don't like the things we do, I have one thing to say. Get out. We don't worship Buddha. Neither do Buddhists, really. We don't worship Mohammad. Neither do Muslims, really. We don't worship Allah. Actually, you sort of do. We worship God," which, by the way, is exactly what Allah means. It means God.
Right.
And if you read your Bible, you actually sort of worship the same God, but we'll leave that for another day. "We worship God's Son, Jesus Christ."
Wait, did he say we don't worship God?
No, he said we worship God's Son,
We worship God
Jesus
and
Christ.
we worship His Son. Okay.
Right.
So they're polytheists. That's good.
Sure, but the point is that I think this guy is largely missing the point, and he was trying to get up and make an impassioned speech, and Rick Santorum was apparently behind him, as he was being introduced, clapping, and in some cases apparently cheering, which is his business. But the thing that I find funny is that I feel like this gentleman is strawmanning the apparently liberal naysayer position of, we're not saying that you can't worship God's Son, Jesus Christ. We're just saying you can't prevent people from worshiping Buddha or worshiping Mohammed. Not that either of those religions actually do that thing. If they want to. The point is, you can be Christian, but you have to let the rest of us be what we want to be. And that is, like I said, it's not really a political show, but this is where I see religion infringing our politics.
Well, the thing that frustrates me is when you have these kind of people come in and say, you know what, get out. And that they get all mad at us and they're like, well, how dare you keep us down? You atheists and you liberals want us to all just get out, which is not the case at all. They're projecting is the problem, because we don't want them to get out. They can stay and do whatever they want.
Right.
We just don't want them to be able to legislate their beliefs.
Right.
Beliefs without evidence. We want actual, a political process, a secular political process that does not favor any one group or another.
Sure.
And then this idea that it was founded on is a Christian nation. It was not.
That's an absolute lie. And if you've ever read a history book, I don't know how many videos of Christopher Hitchens getting up and reading quotes for people like Thomas Jefferson there are. I know there are a lot. And I know that Sean Faircloth has beaten this particular subject to death.
Yeah.
And if you pick up a history book and read it, most of the founding fathers were deists. Which I think if they had the kinds of educational opportunities that we had now, they probably wouldn't even have been that. Most of these gentlemen were not Christians and were not for the idea of Christianity. And so many of the quotes that you can get from people like Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin are directly anti-Christian.
And the Jefferson Bible and things like that.
Yeah, where he tore out all the miracle claims of the Bible and was like, oh, Jesus said some nice things about poor people, basically.
Yeah.
That particular subject has been beaten to death. And to get up and again say this was founded as a Christian nation is just a denial of reality and a denial of historical fact.
Yeah.
So
and it's so telling too, like I said, as far as him wanting to get rid of the people that he doesn't agree with, because he's like, we don't worship Buddha, we don't worship Muhammad or whatever, and it's like, even for those who do, it doesn't matter. We don't care about that either. Once again, the Buddhists and stuff mostly get off because of the fact that we don't see them often in our politics.
Right.
You know, I mean,
if at all.
just stay out of our politics.
Right.
It's that thing I said earlier about, you know what, it's your group, it's your business. You can
Right.
manage it as such, but that doesn't mean that you get to tell people outside your group what they have to do
Exactly.
or how they have to live.
And that's so he's saying that he wants all these people out, and he wants, obviously, the United States to be seen as a Christian nation, and that we all worship Jesus Christ, and if you don't worship Jesus Christ, you can get out. So he wants a theocracy, when the rest of us who are playing in the reality that we have a secular country, a secular government that is also inclusive to this idea that we're a melting pot, that we accept people of all creeds. He's totally missing the point of what the United States is. And I find it really disheartening that someone like Rick Santorum would associate with this guy who really basically wants to undermine what it is America is.
But so does Rick Santorum.
Right.
So it's okay.
And I don't think that's good.
Hey, man, if he somehow can get over Mitt Romney, I'll vote for him. I want to see what will happen.
Really? Yeah, you just want to hasten the end. You just want to hasten the
I know,
end.
I'm the
and
worst
I think that might not be. I think having a political ideology of like, yeah, vote for the worst. Vote for the guy who's going to hasten the destruction of the country because I just want to see what's going to happen. I mean, that might be funny, but
No, part of me honestly believes that if you had someone that
do you think it would
kind of
wake?
crazy.
You think it would wake up? Even,
I think it would be like 4 to 8 terrible years where people hopefully would wake up. Because the thing is if people don't start realizing these kinds of things, don't start realizing that Rick Perry and Prayer Day and prays for rain and gets, flash fire across his whole state. If people don't start realizing how negatively that affects our country.
Is that Rick Perry?
Yeah, it was Rick Perry.
He's the guy from Texas who had the prayer
He had the prayer day, and then afterwards.
That was so long ago now.
And it was for it was for a drought, and then afterwards,
Right.
of course, the drought continues because God doesn't answer, and then largest forest fire in the Texas state history.
The Christian God apparently is like one of those gods who you speak his name only fearfully in the. You're really hoping that you don't get his attention.
Well, I think that's
pray for rain. What do you get? You get fire.
Yeah, God was cranky that day.
Yeah, well, he's a diva. So, anyways, Outcasts out.